I have people in my life. How you guys doing today? Today I wanted to share a couple of things that came to mind, and I'm gonna title this Breaking Bad Habits. You can say I'm going through a process. No, I am going through a process. I'm going through a process myself where I challenge myself. Anything that intimidates me, I'm finding the courage and the strength to approach it and figure it out. Even if like I don't even know really how to do it, I'm just doing it. I'm gonna make a lot of mistakes along the way, but that's beside the point. The idea of breaking bad habits is finding help and applying it. I like to think finding wisdom and breaking bad habits. It starts small. You start small because, and some of us might be good with this type of thing already, and a lot of us might not be. I was one of those that was not. You know, if it's something to do with your health, what you want to change, your eating habits, things like that, you start out small. For example, if you want to start exercising, start out with doing 10 push-ups a day. If that's something that's easily attainable for you, the key is this: do it every day for 3 months. Yeah. What that does is it programs your mind to do things. Everything around you influences you. Okay. Every action, even the way you think about things, even the way how you handle situations, which is the key. So things like doing your bed every day, something very easily attainable. Just do your bed every day for 90 days. Just do it, right? It's something so easy. If that's really difficult for you, which I don't believe it is, you can do it. It comes down to if you wanna make change. If you really want to make change, you're gonna find the way to do it. Okay. One of the other things that you have to remember in this is it's not gonna be a process of where you break bad habits fast. It's gonna take time. There's gonna be times when it's like this. It's up and down. It's up and down. And so you're gonna have your good moments and you're gonna have your bad moments. The point of all this is that when that day comes when you don't want to do something and everything in your body is telling you not to do it, you have every excuse in the world and you still do it. You see what that starts to do, what it starts to do in your mind, starts to program things. And then when situations, whether it be business or at work or promotion, or it could be anything, relationships, money, your finances, when those situations come into your life, you already have a couple wins in your bag already. It's about creating progress, small steps at a time. And then I wanted to also give you this tip that is crucial. You need to have an accountability partner. You need to have somebody that calls out your bad habits, your flaws, because you will always convince yourself otherwise. I reflect back on me even now, and I can convince myself out of any situation. Us as human beings, we tend to go back to comfort. I can't remember where I saw it, but they were saying that it's like a security thing in our mind. We don't want change. We don't want to struggle. We don't want to face something. And if there's any kind of hurdles, we tend to not want to deal with it. The person that's gonna call you out has to be somebody of integrity. It's gonna be somebody that when you see their life, like, you know that you want to be like that. I have people in my life that are very successful in their marriage. I have people in my life that are very successful in their business. I have people in my life that are very successful in their health. You got to surround yourself with those people. You got to pick their brain. And so I go back to what I said at the beginning. Everything around you influences you. You see, there's not just one thing that you can do to change everything. It's a lot of things, a lot of little things. And you have to be willing to do the process. And most people don't. Most people don't want to submit to the process. Most people, we live in a society where it's like instant gratification right now. And you got to understand that you're not going to get those type of results, especially because all of this that I'm talking now deals internally. We like to think, oh, if I buy this book, or if I buy this thing, or like we think it'll fix it. 99% of the time, it has to do with us inside. And a lot of times the things inside, we can't even see what the truth and the lie is. That's why it's important to have an accountability partner. If you don't have that accountability, you're not gonna change. You're just not gonna you're not gonna change. You will always convince yourself that you don't need to change. Just to recap, breaking bad habits starts with just doing small steps, small wins. You know, we're not trying to, we can't possibly do the home run right now. Let's just start with small things. Just if we got to start with just making your bed, and we start there. If we got to start with just doing 10 push-ups. If 10 push-ups is too much, 5 push-ups. Everyone starts somewhere. I'm going through the change right now where I've told my wife for over a year I wanted to like do these type of videos. Not because followers, not because money, but because it scared me. And I knew that I had to face it. You see, because if you don't face your fears, you know who else is gonna understand that? Your kids and everyone else that loves you. And they're not gonna be able to face their fears. So I hope this message encourages you. And like I said in the other video, you're not alone. I've learned that all the thoughts that I have in my head, everybody's having it. But we tend to think we're the only ones that have those thoughts, right? So that's why this channel was created, because I know there's a need for people to speak truth. I know there's a need for people to be able to be okay with figuring out the thoughts in their mind. And give yourself time to do that. You know, this is not, like I said, it's gonna be something that's gonna be figured out real quick, right? Life is beautiful, y'all. We have to make the very best of it. And to make the very best of it, we got to figure out what's going on inside here in our mind and in our heart, you know? All the traumas, all the, you know, the lies that the world has told us, whether you grew up in a rough part of town and now that truth of that town, you think that's the truth, or whether you grew up in a household with a lot of trauma or alcohol abuse or physical abuse, we bring that into our lives thinking that's truth. We got to figure out what the real truth is, okay? And you got to be willing to be truthful with yourself. And at the beginning, you're not going to be able to. That's why the accountability is so important. So I hope this encourages you guys. Today, enjoy your day. And one of the things I love to do in the mornings is just sit for a second and just thank God for air in my lungs for the day. Like, have nothing in my mind. Not think about anything, and just stop for a second and just enjoy the day. So I hope that you can enjoy your day today for just a couple seconds. You're blessed. A lot of people didn't get to wake up today, and you did. So because of that, you have purpose here. So let's start breaking those bad habits, and let's do it together, okay? I hope this encourages you, and you guys have an amazing day.